24 release, we take a look at the request for quotes that we send out of the TMS. Specifically, we look at the RFQ emails and calls being sent from our Find Carriers LWC. When you're sending those requests for quotes to carriers, you want to ensure that you're not sending duplicate requests or requesting quotes from the same carrier multiple times on the same load. I'll show you our new feature that helps to prevent that. So in our Fall 24 release, we update the Carrier Match LWC to now facilitate the tracking of RFQ requests to our carriers. In other words, in the Carrier Match LWC, which we already use today to submit GET quote requests to our carrier services, we now have a request status column. Now this column simply tracks whether I've already reached out to the carrier service listed to tell the rest of your team there's no need to reach out to this carrier, I already talked to them. No need to send them more emails or hit them up with more calls. To show you how it works, I will select a couple of carrier services in this list, and just as I do today, I'll click the Get Quotes button. And you'll see, once it finishes loading, the green success bar saying 2 email quote requests were sent to the carrier services I selected. And then once you refresh this widget, you'll also see the requested status in that column, calling out that you've sent a Get Quotes email to these carriers. Now, the other way we can add the requested value to this column is using the new Log Call button. To show you how it works, I will select this carrier service and I'll simply hit Log Call. And it happens quickly. You can see the button now deactivated, calling out that the call was successfully logged. So when I hit the refresh button, the request status is in there. The other way that we can log a call is on the Log Call activity page. So under our Activity tab, if I go in and I go log a call, I have to choose Send Quote as the subject. This is basically saying, hey, I called a carrier and the topic of conversation was asking them to send us a quote. I can type in called at 10 a.m., waiting to hear back. I can then add a contact, and it's important that I add the contact for the carrier service that I reached out to, because that'll be important in a second when we go back to the Carrier Match LWC. And then when I hit save and I create this call, you'll see it's been added to the activity feed. And when I jump back to Find Carriers and I refresh the widget, now my request status is requested for Arsenal Gunners Truckers. Now the last place we'll call out that we've already requested a quote from a carrier is within the FQA. If you think about it, oftentimes our users are jumping in and searching for a carrier that they want to reach out to so they can click the Get Quotes button to request a quote. And when they select a carrier service that's already been contacted, you'll now see this nice handy Quotes Requested pill telling you that there's no need to call or email. They have an email sitting in their inbox asking them to submit a quote on this load with the click of a button. So again, to summarize, we're just preventing you from sending multiple requests to the same carrier, or allowing you to track the carriers you've reached out to on a given load, giving you the ability to track which users or which carriers your users are contacting, and also preventing some frustration for that important carrier network.